This is a permanency hearing involving the Searcy and Sanders children. Miss Wilcox is with us representing the mother, Miss Sanders, who is with us. The two fathers, Mr. Cisneros and Mr. Searcy, are not with us, and they are not in our waiting room. All right, and for everybody to know, I have read the report, so we don't have to go into depth about what was contained in the report. So, Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Ms. Scone, I wanted to get an update on the children because I did not see anything in the court report. Were the children involved in a car accident since our last hearing?
Yes, they were.
And can you just give the court sort of just a brief, I guess, update on what happened and if there's any concerns still?
Yes, so the children were both in the car with their placement grandmother, Nancy, and they just it was her fault, but they got hit head on Nancy's side. Nancy did have to go to the hospital. She had a small brain bleed and a concussion and some broken ribs. And was in rehab for about a week there to recover. Lily sustained just a few bruises and did have a sling for a little bit. Olivia was fine, and the girls are fine now. Nancy is back home with them, and everybody is doing well and recovering well.
And while Nancy was out, who were the kids with?
They were with their uncle, Jared, and he has been an approved caregiver.
Okay, and so has anything changed with Miss Trask being back in the home? Are we still going forward on the same placement and the same permanency goals?
Yes, placement and permanency goals are continuing. Nancy is in the process of getting licensed to adopt, and she still wants to pursue adopting the girls.
Perfect. All right, so are there any other updates that we need about the girls that weren't in the court reports?
Nothing about the girls. I just saw them. They're both doing well and very happy in their placement.
All right, and so let's talk about the parents and get some updates on them. Since the court report, have you been able to locate Tyler Searcy?
Yes, I did locate him. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and where did you locate him?
He is currently at the Texas Specialty Hospital, rehabilitation hospital here in Amarillo.
Yeah. Were you able to update him on the case and talk to him about sort of what's going on and what he's wanting to do?
Yes, I first spoke with him on the phone about it, and he basically on the phone understood what was happening in the case from what I updated him on, and said that he was not able to take care of Olivia or anything like that, and was just ready to sign his rights away. So I explained to him he needed to fill out the attorney paperwork. So I went and visited him on Friday at the Texas Specialty Hospital and brought him the attorney paperwork to fill out. And then he signed that, and we got that sent to the court.
All right. Now, what updates, if any, do you have on Lily's father, Mr. Cisneros?
For Mr. Cisneros, he has really only been in contact with us via email or text. And the last that I spoke with him and had texted with him, he said that he wanted to get an attorney and did not want me contacting him any longer.
Okay. Do you know how long ago that was?
That was on, I can tell you, it was on Thursday.
Okay. And so at this point, it's your understanding that it's the department's plan would be to terminate his parental rights, correct?
That is correct.
Now, somebody at St. Francis has sent him paperwork previously, correct?
Yes.
Have we ever gotten that paperwork back?
No.
Would you ask that since we are going towards termination for him, that he also be appointed an attorney at this time?
Yes.
Now, let's talk about Miss Sanders. Has she turned in some certificates for some services that have been completed?
She did. She submitted her certificate of completion for rational behavior therapy from October.
All right. Has she completed any of the other services that she's been asked to complete?
Not at this time.
Now, she has been drug screening for the department, correct?
Yes.
Did you talk to her about her October drug screen?
Yes.
And what did she say about that?
She said that she knew it was going to be positive.
Now, has she talked at all about going to rehab?
She has. She had, prior to that drug screen, mentioned wanting to go to a rehab in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and was waiting on sign off from her doctor because of a medical condition she has. And then after the October drug screen, she asked about local rehab programs, and we sent her the information for Serenity in Plainview, and she did call and do the intake. And then after that, was not updated on if anything was going to happen further from there.
Now, has she indicated whether or not she's wanting to do inpatient anymore?
She has not.
Okay. Do you know if she's begun any kind of other treatment, inpatient or outpatient, since the conversation in October?
Not since then.
All right. Let's see. What sort of visitation is Miss Sanders having with the children?
She is getting 1 hour supervised weekly visits.
And is that supervised by placement?
Yes.
So at this point, the services that are still required of Miss Sanders, have the authorizations been sent for all of those?
Yes.
And does that just fall on her at this point to
To
complete those,
schedule.
or?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Do you believe that the department has been making reasonable efforts to reunify the children with Miss Sanders?
Yes.
And how do you believe that the department's been doing that?
Yes, I do.
Or what efforts have you been taking?
Oh, we created a service plan for Christy and the parents, and had sent in service authorizations for all the services on the family plan, and have remained in contact with Christy for the life of the case, and asked her what she needed in order to complete these services, and gotten updates on everything.
As far as the fathers, what efforts has the department made to try and reunify the children with them?
We have also created service plans for the fathers, submitted the service authorizations for all of them, have tried to remain in contact with them. At least we do our part of reaching out, and they don't always reach back out to us, but.
At this point, do you believe it would still be a continuing danger to place the children with either of the parents in this case?
I do believe that, yes.
And why do you believe that?
I don't currently believe that any of the parents are able to provide a safe and stable home for these children that's free of illegal substances or possibly domestic violence.
And as far as the fathers specifically, have either of them been engaged at all with services or visitation with the children since the beginning of this case?
No.
As far as let's see. As far as either the parents or any of the parents are concerned, are there any other services that we would request be court ordered today?
I don't believe so.
Are you wanting to court order any drug screens today?
Oh, yes.
And who would you ask to be court ordered a drug screen?
Christy Sanders.
Do you know, are you wanting to do UA and hair follicle, or just one of those?
I would say a supervised UA and a hair follicle.
Now, is Mr. Cersei in a position where he would be able to drug screen?
I don't believe so. He does not have a car or anything to get to where he needs to go. So I'm not sure he would be able to make it to.
And as far as you know, is he still in that rehab facility?
Mhm.
Did he give you any idea about when he might be released?
He said he had no idea he was probably going to be there for a while, but he wasn't sure when he would be out.
Okay. And are there any other updates on the children that the court needs at this time?
No updates on the children that the court
All right,
needs.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Scone, the mother, she's tested positive for meth in February, June, August, and October of this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
And from the report I read, her October drug screen, that was the highest. She tested at over 11,000. That's the highest she's been throughout the case, as far as I could tell. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said you had talked to Mr. Cisneros, and did you say that he indicated he wanted a lawyer and not to contact him again?
He did. He has told us multiple times that or we have told him that he should get an attorney or request an attorney, and he's always brushed it off essentially. And then this time he said he was going to get one, and for me to not contact him at all further.
Okay, so he's been made aware that he needs to apply to get an attorney if he's claiming to be indigent, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then what type of treatment facility is Mr. Cersei in? What's he rehabbing from?
I believe he's on dialysis.
Oh, okay. So it's not drug related, it's health related.
It's health related.
Okay. All right. And you said as far as other than drug tests, no other services were recommended. Do you not think it's time that Ms. Sanders be court ordered to complete an inpatient drug treatment program, since she's not only testing positive practically every month, but levels keep going up?
Yes, sir. I would recommend that.
Okay. All right. All right. Ms. Wilcox, questions?
Yeah, just a few questions, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Ms. Scone, I have come into this case a little bit late, but so I'm going to ask you some specific questions about what my client needs to do. She is I'm looking at her family plan of service. It looks like she was to participate in complete parenting classes.
Yes.
Is it your testimony that she has not completed those at this point in time?
She has not.
Okay, so she needs to do those. Then we've got the individual therapy. Is it your testimony she has not completed her individual therapy?
She has not completed individual therapy, no.
The next one was a psychosocial assessment. My understanding was she actually did complete that one.
She did early on in the case.
Okay. Are you asking for another one, or is that one sufficient for the case?
That one's done.
Okay. And then she completed her rational behavior training. Is that correct?
Yes.
If you have asked Ms. Sanders to go for a drug test, has she complied with that request and gone?
She does usually. I think she's only missed a handful of times.
Okay. Do you know the dates that she missed those drug tests that you requested she take?
Yes, I can tell you that. Let's see. She missed in August, and I believe May was the other one. I know for sure August, and then it was May and June possibly.
When you request drug screens from Ms. Sanders, how do you make those requests?
I will reach out to her, either text or phone call, and ask her to go same day.
Okay. And that would be on her cell phone. And is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Has she attended her OSAR assessment at this point in time?
She has not. We did have to send in a new service authorization for it, I believe, in September. And they said they were going to reach out. I do believe that the main person that does the OSAR evaluations has changed, so I can follow up and see if they've reached out to her or not.
Since the time that you signed that authorization, have you made any contact with that agency to determine whether or not Ms. Sanders has made any contact with that agency?
They said that they had reached out to her and had not heard back. That was post file or sending that authorization.
And when, if you can recall, did they advise you of that?
It would have been late September. I'm not sure on the exact date. I'd have to go look and check on that.
If the court's going to order inpatient rehabilitation, do you know where she would go for that?
I would recommend Serenity, since it's they do have a 30-day inpatient
Where's that located?
in Plainview.
You're aware that Ms. Sanders has some health issues, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know whether or not Serenity would be able to meet those health needs for her?
I can check on it. I can reach out to them and ask.
Ms. Sanders does have a home there in Canyon, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes,
And she's been there for a couple of years, is that right?
I believe so. Yes.
She has consistently made her visitation, is that right?
Yes.
The oldest child, Lily, is that her
Yes.
name?
Mm-hmm.
She's
Yes.
11, is that correct?
She's 10.
10. Would you agree? Have you ever observed any of their visitations or seen the mother and her children together?
No, I have not.
Is it fair to say that as we sit here right now, the department's primary concern for Ms. Sanders is that she is free from drugs and alcohol?
Yes, that is our primary concern.
And if she were able to do that, some of these other concerns might go away. Is that correct?
Yes.
You mentioned that you had, when you were on direct examination with Ms. Wildman, you mentioned concerns of domestic violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that based on her history with the father of these two children?
Yes, that and there was a someone in her home that was I think a registered or a pedophile or something that we were concerned about at one point being in her home.
Is that person, to your knowledge, still in her home?
No.
Who was that
As
person,
far
if
as
you
we know.
recall?
I don't know the name.
Have you gone out to visit to ascertain whether or not anyone else is living in that home?
It does not seem that anybody else is living in the home. But I have been there on an occasion where there was a person I did not know that was there in the living room during our visit.
Did you ask who that person was while you were there?
She just said it was a neighbor, and I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Do you know how quickly Serenity could get her in if she were to go to the inpatient?
I do not. I would have to reach out to them and see.
I just want to verify here. You said that Tyler, Olivia's dad, was willing to sign an affidavit of relinquishment.
Yes.
It's Lily's dad who has not indicated to the department that he was willing to do that. Is that correct?
Not since I have been the PS on this case, the permanency specialist on this case.
How long have you been on the case?
I have been the permanency specialist since August 31st.
Sorry, one more question. Have you had any difficulty getting a hold of Miss Sanders if you tried to reach her?
Not usually. She usually responds within a few hours at least.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Scone, in addition to Serenity, Senate has an inpatient program in Amarillo, don't they?
I was informed that Senecor closed.
Oh, really? I
Did
didn't
they
know
not?
that. I don't know. That's
Okay.
news to me. So,
Okay, I believe they did. I think that was told to us here at St. Francis.
okay. But in all fairness, Ms. Sanders has had 10 months to get into an inpatient treatment program, and we're down to, we've got a dismissal date of February 2nd, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as far as Mr. Searcy indicating that he was going to relinquish, was he provided the paperwork to fill out to be the affidavit so that he can relinquish? Does he have that?
We gave him the attorney paperwork and he filled that out so that way he could sign it. And then I believe Miss Wildman was going to, once he got appointed attorney, was going to send that to his attorney, from my understanding.
And did I hear you indicate that he was given that paperwork for an attorney last Friday?
It was Friday because normally he does not respond to me whenever I call or text or anything. And when he did answer, that it was just kind of as soon as I got an answer and he told me that, I went. So it all just happened this last week. But normally he doesn't answer.
Do we know where does he still have that paperwork, or is it
No,
filled?
I sent it to Lauren Hayes Friday
Okay.
with the court. So she does have it.
Okay. Well, she's not with the court, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to track down where it is. So,
I'll make sure we get it to you, Judge.
yeah, I was going to say, Brittany, do we have it yet?
Yes, Lauren sent it to me this morning and I forwarded it over to you.
Great. Okay. I'll look at that this morning. So, okay. All right, then. That's all I have. Let's see. Miss Wiggins, any questions?
Yes. Did Lily's dad indicate where is he residing?
I only know that he is in the San Angelo area.
Okay. Has he ever agreed to do a drug test or anything like that?
He has not drug tested for the department.
Okay. Have y'all requested him to drug test?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason why you don't want to court order it today?
I mean, we can court order it. It's just, I think because he hasn't tested in the past, but I would be agreed for that.
Okay. Because we'd still want him to, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
I think what she's saying, it's not worth the paper it's written on, but yeah, I can go ahead and order him to drug screen. So, okay. Ms. Wildman, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Wilcox, did you have any witnesses?
No, I will not be calling my client this morning, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wiggins, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wiggins, recommendations.
Thank you, Judge. I'd recommend that the department remain temporary managing conservator and the children's placement continue. They're both doing very well in that placement.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the children's current placements. I'll order Ms. Sanders to successfully complete an inpatient treatment program and follow any discharge recommendations. I will order Ms. Sanders and Mr. Cisneros to both UA and hair strand drug screen by 4 p.m. today, with Ms. Sanders UA to be observed. I'll set a final in this case for January 26th, 2026. That will be by Zoom, I assume, like today's hearing. So parties can ask their lawyers, or anyone can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of January 26th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing, so you don't have to sit around in the waiting room. So, and I will look at that paperwork for Mr. Searcy's court-appointed attorney this morning. I'm not going to appoint an attorney for Mr. Cisneros. The statute says he's got to ask the court and be found to be indigent before doing so, and he knows about the case. He says he wants a lawyer, so I'll be looking for his paperwork if he wants a lawyer. So, okay, that will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back here real quickly to call another Randall County case. That is a compliance hearing involving the Mason child. So we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good week. This is a compliance hearing following order to participate. This is a Texas Family First case. Ms. Gutierrez is with us from the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the mother, Miss Evans, who is also with us. I've got some other TFF people in the waiting room. Then I have Kia Johnson, Peyton Sim, and Misty Fronterhouse.
Let me see. I think it's Misty Fronterhouse that is my worker on this one, Your Honor. Miss Johnson is actually for the next case. And who was the third person you had?
Peyton Sim.
She is for the Kent case.
Okay. All righty. Okay, that is all the parties. So, Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Misty Fronterhouse as its witness.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'd unmute. There you go. Can you hear us?
Yes,
Okay, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you. And I have read the report, so we can just go from there, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Fronterhouse, who do you work for?
Child Protective Services, family-based division.
And are you also working with the Texas Family First Program caseworker?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that to provide services to Ms. Adaja Evans?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you file a court report in preparation for today?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, we asked for judicial notice of that court report filed on November 12th of 2025.
All right, so noted, and as I said, I have read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Misty, can we go ahead and get an update on Ms. Evans since the filing of the court report?
Yes, she's doing good as far as her services. Everything is completed on our end. And she's working twice a week with the St. Francis worker. She gets 3 hours of supervised visits, 2 hours with St. Francis worker, so they can do their family program, and 1 hour at the CPS office.
Okay, and how are those visits going?
They're going good. We have noted, I mean, they bond great. They're going really well. We are monitoring the child's emotions afterwards, since everything happened. But as far as the visits, they're going really well.
Okay. What improvement, if any, have you seen in Ms. Evans in her interactions with Kinley, the child?
The visits, there's not been any conflicts, so all visits have gone well since the beginning.
Okay. And what about in the meetings with the TFF worker? Is Ms. Evans able to work through some of just frustrations parents have?
Through her notes, it seems like everything's going well, and they're working on getting both of their feelings and acknowledging, both of their feelings, and Adaja getting one-on-one with Kinsley and just working through anything that may come up.
Okay, thank you. And can we get an update on Kinley, the child, please?
Kinsley is doing really well. She does well in daycare. She's super energetic, very intelligent, happy little girl. She's doing great.
Okay. And I understand from your court report that there was an additional intake this time regarding the father and his wife that Kinsley is placed with.
Yes, there is an intake.
Okay. Who was the perpetrator in that domestic violence incident between the father and the wife?
It was mutual.
It was mutual.
Between husband and wife, yes.
And I understand that Kinsley was in the home when that occurred. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you please share with the court what steps the department has taken to ensure safety of the child?
It is under investigation, and so there is an open case on it, and stepmom is removed from the home.
All right. Are there any recommended services that need to be ordered for Ms. Evans?
I would like for Miss Evans to take a co-parenting class, just so when all this is done, just to help her with some co-parenting skills.
Are there any recommended services for Kinsley that we are asking the court to order?
No, I have her going to the bridge weekly now. We just started that in October. So I'm kind of letting them monitor her and let me know what she's needing. But at this time, there's nothing.
And when you say she's going to the bridge, is she receiving counseling at the bridge?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And who is her counselor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have her name pulled up. I believe it's Teresa, but do you need her last name? If you do, I'll get it pulled up right quick.
Sure.
I did not pull that up. I'm so sorry. I know she's being monitored by Bobby Brito, who is the person over the bridge. I do believe her name is Teresa. That's all she gave me, Teresa.
All right.
I will find out her last name. I'm sorry, I don't have it.
That's okay.
I always have communication through Bobby. I don't ever go straight to Teresa.
Are there any other updates that we need to share with the court today?
No.
Okay.
No, everything's going pretty good.
Are we asking the court to go ahead and set an additional compliance hearing?
Yes, please.
And would you want that compliance hearing in December or January?
Probably needs to be January because I think St. Francis will be still doing their program through the end of December. So let's do January.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Misty, I was not aware that the bridge did counseling. Is that something new, or they always done counseling?
They've always done counseling. It's counselors that are contracted through the bridge.
I see. I didn't know that.
Judge, it's a new program that they've done the past 3-4 years. They hired Bobby to do in-house counseling instead of referring out all of the children that attend the bridge. And so she is now supervising. She's not doing any counseling herself, but she's now supervising a lot of students who are learning under her. So it's a really good program.
So the department has contracted with them, and is that right? Or
I think they go through the bridge. I think if a child goes through the bridge, they have access to those services, is my understanding, but I don't know if they contract out as well.
So it's provided another group of counselors for us to use, I guess.
Yes.
Great. Okay. And then Misty, also, you said you wanted me to order co-parenting. Does the father need to be involved in co-parenting, or?
Yes, I'm going to also have him do it, and he's agreed to do it. So
okay, I was going to say, you understand I can't order him to do it, but certainly I would encourage him to. So okay, thank you.
Yes, both of them will be doing it.
Great. Mr. Barfield, questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So ma'am, in regards to the domestic violence incident, you say the stepmom has been removed.
Yes.
Okay. And so who's living in the residence?
Just Michael and Kinsley.
Okay. Has anybody been charged with any criminal offenses resulting from this?
No, there's no charges.
Okay. And now talking about Miss Evans, what does she still need to complete in regards to her agreed plan?
Well, now there'll be the co-parenting class, but other than that, for CPS, she's done all her services. She's still doing her St. Francis services. And then we have to come up with a reunification plan to fulfill her probation.
Okay. And so she's completed her services, so she needs to do co-parenting. And why do you think she needs to do co-parenting?
Because Adaja and Michael often cross the border into personal things. It causes problems. I just think that it would be a good, healthy thing for them to take.
Now,
to be successful.
Currently, is Miss Evans seeing the child unsupervised?
No.
And can we move towards that if she's been doing everything she's supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I will have to talk to my supervisor about that. She sees the child 3 hours a week, and normally they only see them for 1 hour a week. So
okay.
It's just the process. But we're
Yeah,
allowing
I've been doing this a while.
hours.
Excuse me, y'all are talking over each other.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, so can we look towards getting some, so it seems to me like my client's done everything she's supposed to be done up to this point. I'm very concerned about the child obviously being in the home during domestic violence. So I'm thinking that maybe we start trying to expand some visits so we can get this reunified and get the child back with mom, is what I'm asking.
Correct. And part of what our holding back is we're working with the counselors to make sure Kinsley is ready for that as well. So she's only, like I said, she started October 20th, so she's only had a few sessions. So we were just kind of waiting for a professional opinion and all this domestic violence stuff just happened. So it's still in a whole different case and investigations. So yes, things have changed even since I sent in my report, but we are making sure we're doing what's best for everybody.
Well, that's great. Could you put in a request for unsupervised visits?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness.
Excuse me just a minute. Okay, sorry, I apologize for that. I had a telephone call I had to take. So, okay, then, Mr. Barfield, did you have any other questions?
Not for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. And Misty, is Miss Evans, is she still in phase 2 or has she moved on?
She's still in phase 2.
All right. We've got 4 phases total, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got to take that into account too before we start talking about unsupervised or placing the child back home, correct?
Yes.
And I don't know, I haven't seen her probation terms. I know that it said that no contact unless under a CPS plan. But before we were going to place the child back with Miss Evans, we would want to be sure that probation's on board, wouldn't we?
Yes, we do have to get that approved.
Okay, good. Okay. Ms. Wiggins, did you have questions?
Yes, Judge. When did the domestic violence incident happen?
October 29th.
October 29th. And is there a reason why all the parties weren't notified of this?
Well, I'm not the investigator. I didn't find out about it until last Monday.
And who told you? Who told you?
I got notified that there was a new intake. So the CPS, I get an email that there's a new intake on my case.
Okay, so is it not concerning to you that the father did not report this incident?
Well, I mean, yes, but but safety was put into place immediately. She was removed. And yes.
Okay, and safety was put into place because CPS got involved and CPS had the stepmom get out of the house, right?
No, that is not correct. She actually was leaving when the cops arrived, and told them that she was leaving the home. She wasn't living in the home. She was just over there at the time. They had been separated for a while.
Okay. And so have you informed the father that these incidents need to be reported so I can ensure the safety of the child in the home?
Yes. And yes, we did talk about it. And I'm not sure where investigation is on it yet. It's still open. And stepmom has no contact with child or dad. So there is a safety plan in place.
And I mean, okay, obviously, I mean, the child has started counseling. And so the counselor wasn't aware of this domestic violence situation since dad didn't inform anybody. So they haven't addressed that. Is that correct?
No, I did email them.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Okay. All right. Anything further from anybody, from Ms. Fronterhouse?
Yes, Your Honor. One quick follow-up. Ms. Fronterhouse, it does sound like there was some delay. However, you sent an email on November 7th informing the parties, including Andy Orr, about the domestic violence incident. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that when you found out?
Yes.
Okay. But you understand Ms. Wiggins' concerns about the parent not sharing that information as well. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Your Honor, I think that's it for this witness.
Okay. Anything else from the department?
No, Your Honor, we rest. We do ask for a compliance hearing in January. Our dismissal date is January 13th. I know there's a January 12th setting, not setting, but docket, but I think it's pretty full. I think we've put a few finals on that.
I've got
Is there-
January 5th.
I think that would be great, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Barfield, did you have any witnesses?
I was just gonna ask Miss Evans just a couple questions, Judge.
Okay,
Judge, could I follow up with Miss Fronterhouse?
sure, yeah.
Sorry, I do see the emails. Is it true that the stepmother is taking the child to therapy?
No, she's not doing any contact right now.
Okay. And who
She
did
was
you?
taking her to therapy, but she is not allowed to now.
Okay. And so that was after you were notified of the incident, and then
Yes.
because she was doing it from October until you found out in November. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to follow up. Thank you. All right.
Right. So Misty, were the police called to this domestic violence incident?
They were. Yes.
Do we know who called? Was it father or?
Dad called.
Okay. All right. Okay, then, is anybody else? Let's see, you wanted to call Miss Evans briefly. Miss Evans, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Barfield.
Thank you, Judge. Miss Evans, currently, you heard Miss Fronterhouse recommend co-parenting services. Are you willing to engage in that?
Yes, I think that would be very beneficial to everyone. So,
Okay. And so far, everything seems to be going good from your end. Would you agree with that statement?
yes,
And you heard me ask you understand there is a process we have to go for in this before we can get unsupervised visits,
yes, sir.
but that is what you wanted me to ask for today. Is that right?
Yes, and I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
All right. Judge, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
All right. Miss Evans, I'm glad to hear that you would like to do the co-parenting, but you probably heard me state, since the father's not a party, I can't order him to do it. And so you understand, I don't know if co-parenting, I thought had to involve both parents. So if he doesn't want to do it, I just want you to understand, if they don't want to offer it to you by yourself, you're not going to be penalized for not doing it. Because if co-parenting means just what it says, it takes both of you to tango. So
Yes,
just
sir.
realize if they don't offer it to you, I'm going to order it only if father is cooperative with it. So,
Okay.
okay. All right, then, if no one else has any further witnesses, then Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
Thank you, Judge. I guess I'd recommend that the child's current placement with the father continue. I understand that she let us know right when she knew, but it is just a little concerning that the father isn't communicating these things for the benefit of the child. Because we did speak with him on 11/5 before the hearing, but obviously we were not notified either. So
Yeah,
thank
well,
you.
I guess if it's under investigation, it may not be over yet since he didn't notify. So yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. If he wants to be placement, he's got to play ball with us. So, okay, then I'll just order that Miss Evans continue working the services that she's previously been ordered to work. She apparently is doing very well with that. I will order co-parenting for Miss Evans if the father chooses to cooperate. If it can still be offered without his cooperation, I don't know if it can. And if she wants to do it, I'm fine with that. I just don't know. I've never seen a co-parenting that both parents, I couldn't order them to do it. So this is a little bit different situation. So anyway, okay, I will set our compliance hearing for January 5th, 2026. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties can ask their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before January 5th to see exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. That way you don't have to sit around in the waiting room wondering what time we're going to have that hearing. So, okay, we'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back here in about 5 minutes or so to call another Randall County case. That's a compliance hearing following an order to participate involving the Miles, Suarez, Johnson, Long, and Taylor children. So otherwise, we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good week.
Thank you too.
Thank y'all. This is a compliance hearing following an order to participate involving the Miles, Suarez, Johnson, Taylor children.
Elaine, who do you work for?
I work for the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a family-based safety services worker.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and ask you for an update on the children.
Yes,
Would you like to start with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, Aaliyah is doing well. She's kind of, the last time we talked, she had just returned to Kia's care and was kind of talking about going back to public school, but at this time she's still doing some online schooling. When I visited with her at the house, she is a little bit more quiet and reserved, doesn't say a whole lot. But Kia has mentioned that she feels like she's struggling with the fact that the other kids are still out of the home. I spoke with Kia about her potentially doing some counseling, and she didn't feel like Aaliyah would engage even if we were to send her to therapy. And so that's kind of where we're at with Aaliyah. Like I said, she is very quiet and is just kind of there at the house. In regards to Odyssey, she is still in placement with her grandmother, Mary Moore. She's doing well in school. There was an incident where she had gotten into a fight with another student, but that has resolved and she's doing fine now. She has spoken about having a desire to visit Kia, to go and visit her on the weekends, but has indicated she still wanted to stay with her grandmother. And from my understanding and speaking with Kia and with Mary, they both came to an agreement that that's what they would do, that Odyssey would continue in Mary's care, and then she would come on the weekends to visit with Kia, pending approval at this hearing. Let's see. As far as Amaya has continued to be with her dad, Andrew Miles, and DeSoto. My contact with her is usually just via Zoom visits. There's another worker who goes out there and sees her regularly. They say she's doing well. She's attending ballet, and she had kind of talked about a recital she had coming up in December. She has been the one kid in that household of those three kids, the Miles children, Ja'Cory and Malaysia and Amaya. She's the one child who's really voiced a desire to return to Kia's care. She has continued to speak about the violence between Kia and her boyfriend, Kevon, while she's in therapy. And she's also continued to talk about witnessing Ja'Cory and Malaysia and the abuse that they've suffered by Kia, and just not wanting to be witness to that anymore. But she really does miss her mom and has voiced a strong desire to return to Kia's care. Ja'Cory, he's also still there with his dad, Andrew. He's doing really well in school and has showed quite a bit of improvement in his grades while being out there. And he's also attending counseling with the same therapist that Amaya is going to. He has been pretty adamant about staying with his dad. All three kids did have a face-to-face visit with Kia this last Friday, and the therapist visited with the children after that visit, and Ja'Cory has continued to report not wanting to return to Kia's care because of the abuse that he suffered. He does talk about the domestic violence as well between Kia and her boyfriend. From my understanding, that visit did go good this last Friday between Kia and the kiddos. As far as Malaysia, she is still there as well with her dad. One thing that I have noticed during the visits that I've monitored every Friday is that Malaysia and Ja'Cory hadn't really been getting on those visits. It really was Amaya. Up until this last visit, not this Friday, but the previous Friday, Malaysia actually engaged and was sitting through the entire visit with Kia. During that time, she did indicate that she wanted to return to Kia's care, that she missed Kia. And so, let me see. But she has continued to voice being worried about going back home and potentially being abused again by Kia. She did mention that she was taking like the brunt of the physical abuse, and that has been verified by some of the children in the home. I did speak with the school down here because I spoke with Kia about the outcries that Malaysia was making, and she said it was really because she was acting up in school and then coming home, and then she would physically discipline her. The school here also verified that she was having quite a bit of outcries while she was going to school here in the Amarillo, or quite a bit of disciplinary issues at school while she was here. Since she's been living where she currently is, there have not been any behavioral issues in school there, from my understanding. As far as Anaya, she is doing well. She's attending school. She's on the hip hop dance team here at Amarillo High. She's working on getting her driver's license soon, and she's been attending counseling, but has been really slow to really open up to that therapist. But she's had a couple of missed appointments, but Kia's been communicative with that therapist and making sure that she reschedules. So.
Thank you, Elaine. Can we get an update on, well, actually, let me ask a different question first. Did anybody else attend that visit this past Friday that was in person between Kia, Malaysia, Jacory, and Amaya?
So as far as the Kia, she did have other children with her. She had Zanaya and Aaliyah, and she also had Junior, Desmond, go down there with her for the visit. And then we had a worker that monitored that visit, and the therapist was there at the visit as well.
Okay. And is that therapist the therapist of Amaya, Jacory, and Malaysia?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that therapist make any recommendations as far as services for the kids or for mom that we need to ask the court about?
Yeah, she felt that she did say that in speaking with the kids that they do miss their mom, and they've talked about missing her and eventually wanting to return to her care. But the therapist, she does feel like the kids have quite a bit of trauma. She indicated that there's a lot of things that they're still needing to work through, including she visited with Kia, and she felt like Kia needed to continue in therapy as well, and that there needed to be some sort of family counseling before reunification.
Okay. Is there a certain time frame we're asking the court to consider family counseling to begin, or are we holding off until a recommendation from mom's therapist? What's the plan, Elaine?
So I spoke with mom's therapist, and she indicated that she would be working with Kia more like on some parenting, and they have an anger management curriculum as well that she said she can work with her on, and kind of deciphering like the appropriate discipline and inappropriate discipline with the kids. And so I think once she starts making headway with that, and then the therapist out there with the kids is in agreement, I really think that it's something that's going to have to be based on the children. And I mean, I couldn't really put a time frame on that, because it's important that they work through the concerning outcries that they've made before reunification.
All right, Elaine, let me ask you an additional question. In regards to mom's therapist saying that she has an anger program that mom can work through, does she intend to work that anger management program into her individual therapy with Ms. Johnson, or is it a separate program with family support services?
It's going to be through the individual therapy.
Okay. And are we asking the court to order that today?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, what type of program?
Anger management program through the mother's individual therapy.
But for mother alone, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Through her therapist. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay. How is Ms. Johnson doing on her services?
Service-wise, she's doing really well. I think at this point, the only thing that we had left as far as services was the individual counseling. And the last I spoke to the therapist on November the 5th was that she had attended 3 out of the 8 to 12 sessions that she recommended. So we're still at the beginning stages of the therapy, but she's she seems to be doing well in that.
Okay. Have you been visiting the home of Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
How are Odyssey and Zanaya doing back at home?
So Odyssey is still with her grandma. It's actually Zanaya and Aaliyah that are home.
Oh,
They
I
seem,
apologize.
it's okay. They seem to be doing well. We have had some concerns with there being another resident that was living in the home. And I've spoken to the girls about that.
Okay, and who was that resident?
So shortly after the last hearing that we had, I was informed that there was another male that was living in the home that had just discharged from TDCJ and was on a leg monitor. When I spoke with Kia about it, his name is Brandon Rice. She indicated that he was just a friend during our initial visit, and that he was living in the back house, which she claims is a separate residence. I did ask her for documentation showing that that's actually a different residence, but I've never received anything of that nature. Later on, in a different conversation I had with her, she did indicate that they were in a relationship. So this was somebody that she's, I guess, talking to.
And then speaking with the children, Aaliyah and Zanaya, have they spent time with this man?
Yes, they explained that that they go to the back house with Kia and they go and have dinner sometimes back there with him or watch football. I've verified this with another child that has went over to visit Desmond. He's also indicated having contact with this male. So I've spoken with them about, appropriate and inappropriate contact. The kids haven't mentioned anything at this time that there's any inappropriate contact occurring with this individual.
Does it concern you that during an open CPS legal case that Ms. Johnson has decided to move a recent parolee onto her property?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that also cause you concern for her protective capacity and her ability to identify when things may be inappropriate or possibly unsafe for her children?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it also cause you concern for Ms. Johnson herself?
Yes.
Was there anybody else, or has there been anybody else that Ms. Johnson has moved onto the property or into her home?
Yes, about the same time that I received this information, I was also told that her cousin Heather Brown and her boyfriend were living in the actual, like, the residence with Kia and the two girls. This was after Zanaya and Aaliyah were returned to her care.
And were there any concerns with the boyfriend of Heather?
There was concerns with some criminal history. And when I spoke with them about it, Kia just indicated that they just come and stay the night there. That they weren't there during the day with the girls, they would just come at night. So
Does that still cause you concern?
yes.
Now, in regards to Brandon Rice, do you have any information on what he was in TDCJ for?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
It was for burglary.
Okay. Are Heather and her boyfriend still residing with Ms. Johnson?
No, ma'am. She had indicated that they had moved out. I want to say maybe about a few weeks after I had spoken to her about my concerns with them living in the home.
And is Brandon Rice still on the property?
So when I spoke with Kia and I spoke with his parole officer, they'd indicated he would be off of his leg monitor on the 14th and off of parole, which was this last Friday. And she had reported at that time that he would no longer be living there at the residence. My concern with that is when she did attend the visit with the kids on Friday, they had seen her with a hickey on her neck. So I don't know where that came from or who, but it is concerning because she had indicated that he was moving out and that they were no longer in a relationship. So
Do you have any confirmation from Ms. Johnson that Mr. Rice has indeed moved out?
No, other than us speaking about it, no, ma'am.
Okay. And to be fair, have you spoken with Miss Johnson since Friday?
No.
Okay, so it's possible we have, I'm sorry, he has, but we don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than anger management for Miss Johnson to work through in her therapy, are there any other services we are asking the court to order?
Just the individual and the family therapy once it's recommended, and the anger management.
And when you say individual therapy when it's recommended,
Family
that's
therapy.
already in her service plan, correct?
Yes,
Family.
the family.
Excuse me, Ms. Gutierrez, family therapy, not individual therapy.
Okay. Family therapy. Are there any other requests we have for the court today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I believe we received some information from the mother's attorney that there were concerns about the Miles father, Mr. Miles, maybe having some influence over the children, or at least one child, about whether or not mom wanted her. Can you
Yes.
give us some details about those concerns?
Yes. So Malaysia, she had actually attended a whole visit, like I said, with Kia virtually on the 7th. And I was monitoring that, and she had told Kia that her dad had said that Kia only wanted Amaya, not her and Ja'Cory. And so Kia had indicated that wasn't true, that she wanted all of the kids, that she would do whatever she needed to have them all back. And so whenever I spoke to Andrew about it, he did indicate that him and his fiance have spoken about the fact that she was willing to leave the other 2 kids there if they didn't want to come home, but that she really wanted Amaya. And so they felt as though maybe the kids had overheard them say that, and that it was taken out of context that she didn't want them, when that's not the case.
Okay, so to your knowledge, this wasn't a conversation that Mr. Miles had directly with any of the children. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right. Somebody can help me. I'm showing, if I calculated it right, do we have a dismissal date of January 23rd?
I think, Your Honor, that this was signed on, let me see, 8/7/2025
Okay.
was that signature date, and it runs 180 days from that date, which I have calculated as
It'd be later.
February. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. February what?
I think it's February 3rd, 2026.
Okay, I was just going back through my notes. I was counting from the day that I ordered the participation. So, okay, so we're not up to we're not up to the dismissal date yet. So, okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Ms. Graff, questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Lucero, were you listening, monitoring or listening to that visit on Friday the 14th that mom had with the children, and the therapist was also involved?
No, ma'am.
You were not.
No.
Have you talked to the therapist about what she observed and heard at that visit?
Yes.
Did you hear anything about the children calling the mother by their first name rather than calling her mom?
I didn't hear anything from the therapist, but Kia did text me that today.
Are you concerned that the father is undermining the mother's relationship with the children?
I've never witnessed anything like that and of that nature, but there again, I'm not the worker that goes out to see the family face to face. There's another worker out there in the area that does. And when I've spoken to them, they've never mentioned anything like that.
Okay, thank you. I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Nowak?
I don't have any questions, Judge.
All right. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Judge, I had a couple
Ms. Wiggins.
questions.
Sorry, Ms. Wiggins.
That's okay. Thank you, Judge.
Ms.
Ms. Lucero, in regards to Brandon Rice, did the mother indicate how she had met him?
Yes, she said she had known him for quite some time, that they have previously been in the youth center together when they were younger as kids.
Okay. And in regards to the cousin, Heather Brown, was that the same cousin that was placement of the two old or one of the older children?
Yes, it was for Zanaya and Aaliyah.
Okay. And that was the cousin that allowed Zanaya to be abused by her brother.
Mhm.
Okay.
That did happen on her when they were there, yeah.
Okay. And so did we talk to mom about distancing ourselves between this cousin due to the fact that the sexual abuse happened?
Yes, I did talk to her about my concerns with her and the boyfriend living there.
Okay. Do you think it would be a reasonable request to just have the court order that this Heather Brown not reside in the residence during the pendency of this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then in regards to the mom and discussing the abuse or the discipline that mom labeled it about school, did you discuss with her that obviously the two older children cannot, once in a CPS case, cannot be disciplined via anything physical?
I haven't spoken with her about that. No.
Okay. Can you just talk to her about that? 'Cause especially since I guess Anaya is about to start at Fannin, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do we know why she hasn't started yet?
Aaliyah, you mean?
Aaliyah, I'm sorry, yes.
So prior to us even being involved, there was a lot of bullying going on with Aaliyah. This is what she mentioned to the investigator. She does have a skin condition due to severe allergies. And so they were already kind of looking at doing homeschool. And so whenever we got involved and there was so much movement of the kids being placed elsewhere, they went ahead and moved forward with the online schooling. And so that's why they've continued doing the online schooling. She's kind of talked about it, and I asked her about going back to school, and she said she wasn't sure if she wanted to yet.
Okay. So it's possible if she did go back, it would be Fannin, but right now she's still doing online school.
Yes.
Okay. And is the mother doing well with facilitating that for Aaliyah?
Yes, she has her Chromebook and everything.
Okay.
Through the program.
Okay, perfect. And when mom discussed disciplining because of school behavior, is that something that is going to be addressed with this anger management class and her individual counseling about appropriate discipline?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And does mom understand that maybe that the child didn't see that as discipline, that she saw it as abuse at this point?
So I know that that's something that the therapist that's out there with the kids had mentioned, kind of speaking with her about that. Even though she didn't see it as abuse, that these kids they are feeling like it was excessive and that it was abuse.
Okay. And will the anger management class or the individual therapy address appropriate types of discipline and non-physical ways to discipline a child?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other program that you can think of that addresses that kind of class or anything through probation?
So I had spoken with the therapist she actually works at Family Support Services where they do WAVE. And I asked her about potentially doing WAVE, and she said that Kia wouldn't qualify for that because it is more based on intimate partner violence whenever the female is a perpetrator. And in the situation between Kia and Kevon, Kia was listed as a victim because of all the protective orders and everything that was in place, and because her charge was dropped, that they would not recommend her for that program.
Okay, so at this point, only the individual therapy will be addressing that.
And the therapist was going to do the anger management and talking about the inappropriate and appropriate discipline.
Okay. All right. All right, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else? Questions for Ms. Lucero?
I have
Go
some
ahead.
follow-up.
Go ahead.
Ms. Lucero, is it correct that one of the children outcried about a tooth being knocked out from being hit by Ms. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
And which child was that?
Ms. Malaysia.
And did the other children corroborate that story?
Yeah, some of the other kids have talked about it as well.
And is it correct that one of the children also received a bloody nose from Ms. Johnson?
Yes,
And which child was that?
Ja'Cory.
And have the other children talked about that as well?
Yes,
So when we're talking about being disciplined, it sounds like it was excessive discipline. Would you agree?
yes,
And would you agree that these children have trauma from those experiences?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness again, Your Honor.
Anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Lucero, Ms. Gutierrez brought up a good point. Any type of discipline right now, these kids have experienced trauma and the therapists say that they still need to work on the trauma. It's not unreasonable to think that these kids might consider any kind of discipline abuse because of what they've been through. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Gutierrez, did you have anything further?
I did, Your Honor. I wanted to see if Ms. Johnson is a part of the hearing still.
Oh, is she gone? Oh yeah, she ended up back in my waiting room.
Okay. And Meredith, I'd like to ask Ms. Johnson just to find out whether or not Brandon is still in the home. Did you want me to call her as a witness or do you prefer to?
Either way, it's fine. I wanted to know that too,
Okay, I'll go ahead.
since it was supposed to occur on Friday. So
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to ask her that. So yes.
Yeah, I want to know too. So I want to know who's living in the house, whether front house, back house, on the property.
Okay, the department calls Kia Johnson as its witness.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, if you'd unmute, can you hear us?
Yeah, Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah, you need to stay still wherever
Okay,
you're at.
let me get it.
Okay.
So windy. Give me 1 second. Okay.
All right, raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't know who's doing it, Ms. Gutierrez or Ms. Graff.
I can start, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Johnson, I understand from the testimony today that there was a Brandon Rice living in your home. Is that correct?
It's not in the home. There's a back house. It's a separate house. He's in
Okay.
the back.
And you're cutting out for me. Let's try it again. So it sounded like you said Brandon Bryce was living in the back house. Is that correct?
Yes, it's separate property. So there's a separate fence, like a privacy fence. It's a separate property. The only reason why they are counting it as one is because my landlord, I guess the bills are all tied together. So the landlord gave me a better price for renting on both, so she didn't have to deal with the bills part, but it's a separate property.
And in regards to Mr. Rice, is he still living in that back house?
No, ma'am. He moved out as far as the 14th whenever he got off of his leg monitor.
Okay. What adults are living in the home with you at this time?
Just myself.
And are Aaliyah and Zanaya the only children that are back in the home with you at this time?
Yes, and Junior or Desmond, he comes as on the weekends or whatever days he wants.
Okay, so just to clarify, it's just you and the two girls living in that home right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anyone else have questions for Ms. Johnson? All right then, Ms. Gutierrez, anything else from the department?
Nothing else from the department. We rest. I do show that dismissal date as February 3rd of 2026. So we're asking for a hearing just a little before then.
Yeah, you can be thinking about it. I thought the same thing. I've got January 26th or February 2nd, so y'all be thinking about that.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Graff, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor. I think that the information that we've conveyed is regarding our concerns about Mr. Miles have been expressed both to Ms. Lucero, and the court has heard us this morning. We'd like Ms. Lucero to keep an eye on this because it appears that from her testimony that both of the two girls in Mr. Miles' home would like to return home to mom. So we'd like to work toward that goal as soon as possible.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nowak, did you have any witnesses?
No witnesses. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Wiggins?
I have no witnesses, Judge.
All right, then Mr. Nowak, your recommendations as guardian ad litem for the children?
Yes, sir. Continue the placements, continue services, with Odyssey, who's living with grandma, but she wants to visit mom on weekends, do what we can to support that in a safe manner, obviously. With the Miles children, I believe the therapist recommended family counseling before reunification on the ones that aren't reunified. Judge, I would recommend that. Recommend mom's anger management. And with respect to, I understand that Brandon Wright is off the property. I get it. It's a second house, but I'd like the court to order that, no new adults in the house without court approval, whether it's the house or on the property. And the concerning thing is this guy's a felon.
Yeah.
Same with the cousin and the cousin's boyfriend. There's just too many moving parts with all these different kids, Judge. I think we need to make it simple for the children.
I agree.
Those are my recommendations, Judge. I think I hit everything. I did. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right.
Your
Then.
Honor.
What?
Your
Who's talking?
Honor, it's Miss Graff.
Wait, let's stop. Miss
Sorry.
Graff, you first, and then Miss Johnson. You're both talking, and I can't hear either one of you. Miss Graff, what were you saying?
I was saying my client is in agreement that we do family counseling. She mentioned that to me recently, and she's in agreement, would like to start that as soon as possible.
All right. Miss Johnson, you were saying something. I couldn't hear you.
I don't understand what we're going from here. Like, what are the goals for me to get my babies back?
Well, that's what we're doing. You've still got, they're recommending family counseling when it's recommended by your therapist. They're recommending you do anger management through your therapist. So there's some things you still need to do to get your babies back. So, and I'm getting ready to order what you have to do. So.
Okay. Can I mention that with the children, like, first of all, they were in tears, even me leaving from seeing them Friday. I do have to say that they're like breaking down. It's hard for my kids at home as well. And also, I haven't had any anger. Like, I can take it because I'll do whatever I need to do. But I haven't had any anger issues. And then also, like, for them to come home and be able to do family counseling with us as a family, I feel like that would be very beneficial. I don't want to let the case go because I feel like, one, they help pay for the counseling, and that's something I would love. My kids haven't expressed anything as far as them not wanting to be home. I know in the CPS investigation.
Okay, listen, I've heard all I need to. You've got to take some responsibility for why these kids are suffered trauma. So
yes, I do, and that's why I feel like the counseling would be so beneficial.
Okay, well, I'm getting ready. Once again, I'm getting ready to tell you what you have to do to get your babies home. So
I've done so much.
I've heard all I need to hear, Miss Johnson. All right, I'm going to order that Miss Johnson continue to work the services that were previously ordered and that she will complete anger management through her current individual therapist. I'm going to order that family therapy will begin when recommended by the children's therapist. I'm going to order that no one reside in either of these two residences other than Miss Johnson and any of her children that have been returned to her. Mr. Nowak was right. We got way too many moving people around here. And the whole emphasis of this case should be on the children and not on other adults in and out of that house or the back house, especially when we've got felons involved. So no one's to live on the property other than Miss Johnson and her children that have been returned to her by the court. All right, back to our next hearing. I gave you January 26th or February 3rd. When do you want the compliance hearing?
Elaine,
Yes.
is either of those two dates better for you?
Either is fine with us.
Anybody have a scheduling conflict that you're aware of? I mean,
I don't have a conflict, but I just feel like given how close the second date is to the dismissal, I think the January 26th, if nobody has a conflict, would be the best date.
I'm better
I
with that.
agree.
My math's not really good, so I'm better with building in a little fudge factor there. So, all right, we will have our next compliance hearing on January 26, 2026. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can ask their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before January 26th to see what time we'll have that hearing. That way you won't have to sit in the waiting room that long. Y'all have a good week, and we will be in recess.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.